Major League Baseball is one of those sports in which it's pretty difficult for one team to absolutely dominate. Such are the variables surrounding a successful team season by season. But as some teams gear up for the upcoming World Series, those who haven't made it will have an eye on next season. So who can make a serious run next year? Today, we're discussing a few sleeper teams to watch out for next season. Stay with us. Let's get straight into it then. We're talking about the Giants first. The San Francisco Giants' fortunes in 2023 will largely come down to what they do regarding their outfield during the offseason. Of course, 2022 flattered to deceive after coming so close the season before with a mightily impressive 107 wins before coming unstuck against state rivals, the LA Dodgers. The disappointment of that defeat against the Dodgers quite obviously spilled over into the season, as the offense is currently right around average in the league and has been a shadow of themselves last time out. Eliminated from the postseason and right around .500 means there is work to do for Gabe Kapler in the offseason. The Cali team currently ranks 18 in WAR, and some have suggested that this is the area that could potentially make the difference next time out if they can recruit well. Should they decide to bring back Jock Peterson, then this could make a difference. His form has been pretty inconsistent this year, but the power he possesses, as well as his uncanny knack for getting on base, makes him a useful weapon. Could they also go for free agents such as Aaron Judge, Michael Brantley, and Andrew Benintendi? Perhaps, but they will also need to figure out where their underperforming stars from the season fit into any reshuffle. Give us your thoughts below. Next up is the Miami Marlins. Stay tuned. The Marlins were tipped for a big year this season, having signed Avisail Garcia and Jorge Soler, but they didn't quite manage to hit the heights expected of them. As we now know, the Marlins are preparing for life after Don Mattingly, and we can almost certainly expect one of their starting pitchers to leave this offseason given the surplus they have in that position. But this is the tip of the iceberg, as their offense is the real problem. Many suggested they fluked their way into the playoffs in the 2020 season, as no one hit the ball particularly well. So the top of their shopping list this offseason has to be a player or two who is well versed in driving in runs and getting on base. This poor aspect of their game is highlighted in the fact that their run return is excruciatingly low. They ranked second to last in runs scored last year and are again languishing near the bottom of that particular stat league table this time around. It will be interesting to see who Kim Ng brings in as manager this season, as she inherited Mattingly. Once she has a season of her manager in the hot seat, it'll be easier to assess her vision. If the Marlins can nurture talents like Yuri Perez and Max Meyer and make a couple more interesting signings, then they will be an interesting watch next time out. The Rangers are coming through next. The Rangers need to improve in the starting pitching position if they're going to compete. That much is for sure. They spent a lot of money last offseason, so it'll be interesting to see if they double down again this time around or take a more conservative approach. Rumors have already suggested they could be in Clayton Kershaw once again, but it remains to be seen if they'll make a move for the Dodgers pitcher. I mean, we know they're willing to spend. Soothed could potentially explore that option, and their luck surely can't be any worse than it has been in recent years. Where do you guys think the Rangers will end next season? Give us your thoughts below. We're discussing the Detroit Tigers' chances next. Stay with us. The American League Central Division is one of the most interesting to watch right now, as no team looks truly dominating, meaning young and unproven talent could easily prosper. Those Tigers youngsters should benefit in the third year of A.J. Hinch's tenure, and it'll be interesting to see what the Tigers' new president of baseball operations, Scott Harris, brings to the table too. Similar to the Rangers, but not quite that bad, the Tigers have been on the receiving end of some rotten luck of late, with departures in some key areas, such as Eduardo Rodriguez and Austin Meadows. But all things considered, this is anyone's league, and top spot is most definitely up for grabs. With other big teams such as the Guardians and White Sox not exactly what they have been in the past, a big push for a team such as the Tigers could just see them surprise a few people. Do you guys give them any chance next time out? The Boston Red Sox are coming through now. The sleeping giant. The Red Sox have lost more games than they have won this season and find themselves bottom of the AL East, which might come as a surprise to some given the fact they were challenging the ALCS last year. The Boston outfit has some huge financial resources behind them, and as such, needs to move to address their pitching problems, as well as make sure they can tie down Rafael Devers to a new deal. They would also do well to figure out the Xander Bogaerts situation and bring in another designated hitter, with JD Martinez almost certainly on the way out. But if they manage to get these things right, there's no reason why they can't challenge next time around. Can you guys see the Boston Red Sox having a big 2023? Let us know what you think below. We're talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks Diamondbacks now? Stay with us. It's no exaggeration to say that the Diamondbacks had quite an appalling 2021, winning just 52 games across the season, but that record improved by almost 50% this time around, which shows a bit of promise for the Arizona outfit. Zach Gallen is also showing some pretty good form, with the lowest ERA and WHIP in the league, and also has the 5th most strikeouts. Dalton Varsho has made the move from full-time catcher to outfielder and had a pretty solid season this time out, whilst Christian Walker is still hitting big homers. If he can improve his consistency, then he could be a big player for the Diamondbacks next year. They also have consistency in the management department too, by tying down Torey Lovullo and renowned pitching coach Brent Storm for at least another year. If they can add a couple of players in key positions and continue their player development, then there's no reason why the D-backs can't challenge this time next year. Give us your predictions for the Arizona side for 2023. Next up, it's the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have been flattered to decide since winning the World Series 6 years ago, but have the deepest farm system since those heady days right now. If we look at their spending power as well as some of the young players with big potential they have in the ranks, it's not particularly difficult to see a way back to the big time for the Windy City outfit. From where we're sitting, their fortunes depend on the health of Marcus Stroman, Kyle Hendricks, and Justin Steele. If they can bring in a big free agent pitcher to add to the talent they already possess, then their fortunes could quickly change in 2023. With a similar form to the Diamondbacks this season, the relief pitchers have pitched the second most innings in baseball behind only the Rays, who purposely play that way so if they can improve their rotation options, then this could also have a big impact on them going forward. If they can also pick up some players from the free agent pool expected to consist of the likes of Chris Bassett, Martin Perez, Justin Verlander, and Clayton Kershaw, amongst others, then the Cubs could certainly be in the mix this time next year. What do you guys think? And finally, where does all this leave us? Well, as we all know, it's almost impossible to predict the game of baseball, as literally anything can happen due to the huge amount of variables. Any of the teams we have mentioned today could go on a winning run if they get it right this offseason, but they could just as easily get it completely wrong and end up scrapping around the bottom of their respective divisions once again. If these teams can bring in what they need during this offseason, then we're going to take a punt on the fact the Boston Red Sox could well make a big push next season simply down the wealth of the resources they have behind them. Of course, this isn't the only factor in baseball, but it certainly helps. Give us your predictions for 2023 below. As usual, thanks for dropping in on us today, and remember to tune in again next time when we'll be discussing loads more fun bits and pieces. And why not do us a favor by liking today's video and sharing it with any baseball fans you might have lurking on those profiles. Bye guys!